Okay, let's start out with exercise 1. And one of the things I want to mention to you is that you want to play through these just to kind of get familiar with it first. You always want to use a steady rhythm, and you don't want to play any faster than you can comfortably play that steady rhythm. And one of your best friends is going to be this metronome, or a metronome. This particular one, I'll just tell you, is Sabine, S-A-B-I-N-E. It's a Metrotune MT9000. It's a tuner and a metronome. You can pick one of these up at your local store, local music store, or online. You can check out a music store that I like, amazingguitarsecrets.com/gear, G-E-A-R. But you want to pick one of these up, and essentially you want to start out with, I would say, probably dum dee dum dum. Okay, I'm starting out at 96 beats per minute. I'm in 4/4 time, so I have it set. This particular one can give you a different tick on the first beat. Most metronomes don't, but this one's a little higher end, and it gives you a special kind of tick on the first beat, so it's kind of a little bit higher pitch, as that kind of lets you know when the beat 1 comes. And you can change it around. If you want to be on like 6/8 time, you can tell it to, instead of 6 beats per measure, you can tell it, or instead of 4, you can tell it 6, whatever. The long and short of it is, if you use one of these, you'll be able to keep your rhythm steady. And the concept is, every time you hear a tick, in this particular instance, you're going to be playing a note, because a tick represents one note, and you're in 4/4 time, and I've written this exercise in 4/4 time, so every time you hear a tick, there should be a note, and hopefully I'll be able to do it. 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think you get the idea. But then, what you want to do is maybe the next day, instead of going, let's say you just play that at 96 beats per minute, the next day you might want to bump that up to, let's say, 108 beats per minute. 2, 2, 3, 4. And so on and so forth. The next day, try to bump it up a little bit more, maybe to 120. Whoops. Okay. Next day, I think you get where I'm going with this. Now, ultimately, you want to getting them going pretty good, like maybe 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I think you get the general idea. We'll go on to exercise 2 next. Okay, so how did you do with that exercise 1? I hope that went well. Notice that that was an ascending chromatic pattern. Ascending meaning going up the fretboard, and this one's going to be descending. Okay, like that. Make sure you're keeping a steady rhythm on each one of these, and I would suggest doing down, up in your picking. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And I'll tell you a little secret. You can check out the camera that has the body in it. Look how I'm holding on just very subtly with my pinky finger onto this middle pickup. that's kind of giving me a little bit of a anchor to use my hand to pick. It's a little more difficult if you don't use any kind of anchor and you just try to pick like this. I know people that can play that way. I find it hard, and I've seen great guitarists, and I actually picked this up just by watching a zillion guitar videos, but I picked this up watching the great players. A lot of them will take this pinky finger and anchor their hand, either anchor it on the body of the guitar or grab onto this pickup, just to kind of, not that you're going to jerk the pickup out of the line or anything, you're just going to grab onto it a little bit, just to give yourself a little bit of anchor to kind of hold onto to move your other fingers. Okay? So let's go ahead and do this exercise 2. This is going to be descending chromatic exercise up the fretboard. And also, I forgot to mention that you can take these up all the way to the 12th fret and all the way back down if you want. Heck, you can go all the way as high as you want. But the whole idea is that you're going to go until, you know, maybe the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th fret, however long you want to play each one of these exercises. But you can go all the way up if you want, and then come all the way back down. So here's exercise 2. I think I'll do this one at 96 beats per minute, since that's what I started the last one on. 2, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, I think you get the idea. And same concept holds true here. You want to bump that metronome up the next day a little bit. And one other thing I forgot to mention about this is you want to make sure that every note is very clean. You don't want to have that kind of dead note sound on any of them. You want to make sure every note's clean. And on your left hand, you want to make sure that you're fretting it right in the middle of the fret. If you get too far close this way or too this way, it'll give you that buzz. Hear that? If I come in the middle of the fret, hear that buzz? So try to stay right in the middle of the fret on each one of these, okay? And also, another tip is to make sure that your thumb is in the back of the neck like this. Let's see if I can get my guitar turned around here. Make sure that your thumb is in the back of the neck. You don't want it too far up this way or too far this way. Obviously, when you play on the 5th and 6th strings, you're going to need to bring your thumb on around here. But for the most part, keep it in the middle. That'll give you a nice firm bass so you can press down on these strings. Okay? Let's do exercise 3 next.